Bam, ba, 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 ba,
Yep.
bam. Yeah, sorry guys, we don't have the device today. We're gonna do this episode, me and Lopes. Matt's on vacation, so we haven't chimed in for the last
Oh,
5 weeks. So I think it's time to do a little update.
yep. Yeah, I'm doing very well, by the way, in case you guys are wondering. It's me, Ryan.
Well, you're the
Yeah,
only one that
like
they've
Ron said,
seen.
he's in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, losing you
It's
a little
true,
bit,
yeah, they're the
Dolphin.
only ones that I've seen the face of.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Like, not
Ryan,
only
we
that,
go
but
again.
not only that, but you're the only one who's been giving them updates for the last 5 weeks. So they've
I
seen your
know, and
face on
they're
YouTube.
not even like, yep, I've become a star. It's not easy bearing this, all this fame. But yeah, I felt like I had to, even though I probably should have had a script. I like watched back the videos and I was like, I probably should have had notes. I didn't have any notes. Just
Uh,
rambled like a madman for
hey,
20
there's nothing
minutes
wrong
apiece.
with that, though. I mean, honestly, you're just getting your thoughts out there. I mean, that's all this is, though. It's just getting your
Yeah,
thoughts out to everybody. Um, and yeah, it's.
true.
I'm glad you were doing the updates. We needed them. I'm glad there is some stuff up there in between because it's not like for the last five
Mm.
weeks that we just haven't decided to meet up. It's been hard scheduling. All three of us went on vacation. We did it in back to back to back weeks,
Yeah.
and none of that was planned. Like none
Nope.
of us knew that.
Totally inadvertent.
Yeah, nobody knew the other person was leaving. Like Lopes went on vacation, he came back, and then a couple days later, I went on vacation, and then I got back, and I was home for 1 day, and Matt left for 10 days, and he's still gone.
Yep. A whole month of vacation for this podcast,
Seriously,
and we
but
went to the same place
yeah,
two separate times
which
on
is so
separate
weird.
occasions.
Like we didn't plan that. I didn't even know you were going to
Yeah.
Colorado until you said it that you were leaving like the following week to go there, and I was like, that's funny. I'm leaving the week after to go there.
Yeah. And we both went to Red Rocks and stuff like that. I think you went. What did you leave like 4 days after I got back? 3 days after I got back, or something like
Yes,
that.
but what day did you come?
It was Saturday night.
Yeah, so we left Wednesday. So yeah, 4 days later.
Or Saturday night. Yep. Again, not planned.
Yeah, not planned at all.
It just
So funny.
happens like that, Life is funny.
It really is. And Matt does
But we're
give
back
everyone
though, and
his thumbs up. He did tell us to tell you guys he is doing good and vacation's going great, and he gave us the Michelle Tanner, you got it, dude.
you got it, dude. So, did you see the video of Matt with like all those birds on him? I don't know if you saw that.
Dude, it was awesome.
It was amazing. I was like, he's just having the time of his life. So
He
when Matt
really
hears
is.
this, buddy, like, really happy you're having a great time, man.
For real, dude.
Yes, you
We all
bud.
deserved it.
That's awesome. Yeah, for real. Yeah, we've had a year. We had to deal with this Red Sox team, the ups and the downs. We had to take a mental break.
Which
Turn away on us.
let's get into them now, huh? So
Yep.
since last time we talked, they were 20-13, so we missed 33 games since the last time we've done this.
That's a pretty hefty amount of games.
God damn.
Pretty good amount. Jesus.
But there was some good things and
boy.
some bad things. Obviously their record being 7 games over 500, that's great. So that's a positive. We also got to see some call ups. We got to see Peyton Tolley and Connerly early,
Mhm.
and also got to
One looked really
experience
good.
Roman Anthony going on the IL for what is probably the remainder of the year.
Yeah, I don't. Even if they were to go on a deep playoff run, I don't see Roman Anthony coming back. So it's a tough pill to swallow, especially
Yeah.
how different of a team they are with him on him.
Yeah, seriously, like it sucks, dude. Like they were so good with him, and I felt like with him in the lineup, they just scored runs. They manufactured runs. He'd come up in big key spots, and he seemed to almost always deliver. But even if he didn't come up in a big
Mm.
spot, I feel like he was a guy who was starting an inning. not only by being the leadoff guy and being one of the best leadoff guys in all of baseball when he was in that spot, but um just being like it might be like the fourth inning and one out in the inning and he comes up with nobody on and hits a double into the gap and next thing you know we're scoring 2 runs that inning. And it's like I feel like if he's not there and you have somebody else who's there who's been making outs more consistently, those runs weren't going to get manufactured. Like he was a big part of doing stuff
Mm.
like that.
Yeah, not and I even I think we might have talked about it on the pod like an earlier episode, but like the walk off home run by Sadon, he had a pinch at bat before that and drew a walk.
Yep.
I know it's a walk, but the fact that he was able to do that to give Sadon that opportunity to hit that walk off home run,
Right. Now
uh,
you can't pitch around
like it's
Sadon.
just
You
little
got a
things
guy
like that.
on.
Right, exactly. So and yeah, it definitely I feel like because I think after Roman went down, I might have posted a video, um, and I was probably negative, knowing me.
Honestly, I
But I
was.
feel
I
like when
thought
he how could you not be? You know, because he was the reason why know is it was like pretty much when Roman came up. That's when Devers got traded, so it became Roman's team after that, and they were like second, third best team in baseball record wise. And since then they were I think they've been about I think they're a little over 500 since then since he got injured.
yes.
But you know it just it was like the vibes like where like it just didn't feel good. It felt like one of those things where it's like shit. This is the season. This is how it's gonna end, kind of thing.
Yeah, that
Even if they like
honestly,
it didn't feel good.
yeah,
I
honestly,
feel
dude,
good.
like I thought when he went down, the way that they played, I felt like that like first week that he was down, they couldn't score runs. The pitching, it was like right at that point when the pitching started kind of getting a little sloppy. After they had been so
Hmm.
dominant for such a long period of time, the starting pitching, they finally started. Bayo started giving up more runs. You had Giolito started giving up more runs. And once that started happening, I felt like it was all right around the same time Roman went down. So it just felt like a giant shitstorm. You know what I mean? It just felt like
Yeah,
nothing was going to go right from that point, and we were about to have a 2011 September collapse again. Thank God we didn't.
yeah. Seriously, a team in the National League did that instead. So,
Yeah.
congratulations, Mets.
Yep. Not only that, but I mean, look at a team
Yeah.
like like Detroit, dude. They had like a 12-game lead or something.
Oh,
They almost choked it.
I
Like they
can't
lost the
believe
division.
that. I can't believe that. Good. You know what? Honestly, before we go on about the Red Sox, let's credit Cleveland for after all the shit that they went through this year. Don't forget they were sellers at the deadline.
Yeah, I know. They
The only
lost
player
two
that they really kept
relievers.
was Ramirez.
They lost their
Two
best
relievers
reliever.
because of gambling. Yeah, yep. It's literally like a world class closer, like like an elite closer. They lost him, and in spite of all that, they went on a massive run. It wasn't just Detroit losing those games at the end of this year because Detroit fell apart, but it was because Cleveland was just winning every game too. I think they
Yeah.
went on what like an 8 9 game win streak
And
at one
I
point.
think they went on a 10
So
game
like
win streak
credit to
at the
Cleveland
end of the
for
year.
10 game win streak.
Yeah. Then they lost, I think,
Credit
like
to
a
them
couple
after all the
games.
shit they went through this year. Mm. But you know, credit to them for even making it and for winning that division. So I just wanted to give them a shout out because that's really cool to see
They get to play
in
Detroit,
spite of
right?
everything. I think so. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's the matchup.
Because it's funny with the going to be division matchups for the wild card round. Get
Yeah, that is funny.
you get the Central versus the East.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, that's so funny, dude. Baseball. What a weird year. I think we've been saying since the like second or third week of the third episode or something. Like this has been just a weird year all across baseball. Weird year.
Dude,
Nothing makes sense.
if I saw it right, I don't know how true it was. Like I thought I saw it scrolling through. If I read it right, Trey Turner won the NL batting title by batting 301.
Really?
I don't know if
Boy,
that's right, but
I,
if that's true, that's got to be like one of the lowest I've ever seen.
it has to be. Let's see. Batting title 2025. I can't believe if that's the case. Aaron Judge had a 331 in the American League, so that's a good average for that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Trey Turner hit 304 and won the batting title.
yo,
He was the only player qualified in the National League that hit over 300.
my God,
Yeah, Nico Horner's second with 297.
that's got to be one of the
That's
lowest, if not the
crazy.
lowest we've ever seen.
think so, dude. I mean, like look at the National League hitting, dude. Like they don't have like they're hitting. Like, I mean, like Aaron Judge is gonna win the batting title in the American League with a 331 average. That makes sense. But like I'm looking at the National League, dude. Like yeah, it's Turner 304, Horner 297, Freddie Freeman 295, Luis Arias 292, Geraldo Perdomo
Yep,
and Alec Burleson hit 290. That's the top five. It's in the 290 to 304 range. That's crazy.
that's
Yeah. Shit. Weird year.
yeah, very
Weird year.
strange
What
year.
else can you say? Yeah. But bright side, another thing that we missed: Red Sox are a playoff team. Official.
Yes. Yep,
We can say
wild
that now.
card.
It's,
First time since
yep.
2021. Thank
They
you.
made the playoffs.
Too. Yes.
Definitely. And I mean, I was super happy about it, especially the way that they did it. They were losing 3-0 to Detroit. Make a comeback out of the game, and then Cedar Rafaela in the green Friday jerseys hits the walk off double. Of course, it's Cedar Rafaela, and they walk it off to get to the AL, the postseason, the American League wild card round. So that was awesome. And we're facing the Yankees.
Yeah, which will good matchup. I mean, they lose it. I mean, it's going to be a test of hopefully what we see coming into next year. Getting back to Roman Anthony down. Based on all the reports coming out, it does seem like he's probably not coming back this year, and that right there is already like if we lose, we have to expect. Hopefully, he'll be healthy for next season. He can stay healthy for the whole year. We're gonna need.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
I
for
just
sure.
I feel like our roster right now, feel like feel like we got to heat up.
Mm.
Like this is the time where like the power's got to come out. Like it sucks that
Yeah.
Wilyer Abreu didn't really have a chance to do like rehab. Like felt like every game that he played since he's come back, it's like nonstop ground balls to second base.
Yeah. Or striking out, like being late on a fastball, which makes sense.
Yeah, he hasn't seen pitching in 5 weeks. Like
Yeah. I think they usually say that it's like typically like about when you get hurt and you come back, it's like typically like 30 at bats before you start feeling like you're starting to get the groove of things. So hopefully Abreu is turning that corner. It's been probably about I don't know, probably 20 something at bats since he came back.
yeah, I would say
So
close to
hopefully
that.
this is the perfect time. Yeah. So hopefully this is the time where he's starting to feel it again. He seems like a kind of guy that likes the pressure. He likes to play for the moments. So uh, hopefully the whole team can do that, like you said. And I do want to say, like giving credit to Cleveland earlier, I want to give credit to the Red Sox because, in spite of Anthony's injury, like you said last time we talked, they were 20-13. Other players such as Nate Eaton,
Yeah,
have stepped up. Jaron
Romi's been
Duran
solid all
seems
year.
to. Romy Gonzalez had and I'm having a great season for what he is. Um, uh, Players like that. Nick Sogard had some moments. Um, Not saying that Nick Sogard's this great player or anything like that, but like he in the time that he did play,
Yeah,
he looked like a guy who is good enough to be there. You know what I mean? Especially in the time that they had him, you would think that if you see players like, oh shit, we got Nick Sogard playing second base and Nate Eaton starting in the left field or starting center field, that's a shit lineup. But in spite of that, they were over 500 and they had a good team. So I just want to give them. I want to give credit to the players that weren't expected to do much that stepped up during a time where they needed to, such as those players.
yeah, seriously, dude. It was we got some good play, especially like dude Nate Lowe. Like
Yeah,
he was
Yeah.
great pickup for us. Like he seemed to do what he was supposed to do. Where I felt like the first base position here was like a strikeout position. Abraham Toro's
Mm,
up, and it's gonna strike out, and before that it was Casas who wasn't even batting 100. Like oh, so it's nice to see, even
mm.
though he's probably batting like 260 something like that. It's still nice to see somebody who, when there's a runner on third base, drives the ball to center field instead of striking out.
Right. Yeah. Hey, Nate, and plus you can tell that Nate Lowe had the like we talk about vibes and stuff like that. He like his vibe totally changed. Like his stats were so they were good in Boston because you played in Washington more than half the year. Hard, and he was having a down year, but then he came to Boston. He looked like the Nate Lowe of last year and the year before that.
Right,
So he
dude. And
definitely seemed like he was like rejuvenated here
and,
or
and
to be here.
his
I mean,
his glove at first base, dude.
great.
We've been missing
It's
that all
so good
year.
seeing a really great. Yeah, I
Like a
can't remember the last time we
legit,
had like a really like elite first baseman.
yeah, dude. Like we finally have like a legit first baseman who can play the position. And like, dude, you see him get after balls, man. Like hard hit balls on the ground by the bag, like he's diving for them. Like he doesn't care, you know,
Yeah,
getting to them. And
yeah,
it's
man.
like that's I'd love to see that. Before, like I felt like anything like that was gonna be an easy double, and at Fenway could even be a triple.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if it goes down that line and say like a Bray or like it bounced off like the wall or a Bray takes a wrong turn to it, like.
Yep.
But yeah, but luckily we had Nathaniel Lowe who was just like, oh, I got that. I think he's won a go. Yeah, he won a Gold Glove, so he
Yeah.
is one of the more elite first basemen out there.
Right.
So yeah, man. I mean, he went from having a negative .3 WAR in Washington this year to coming to Boston. It was only a .4 WAR, but it was still that's plus .7. That's better. And he hit 280 in Boston with
Yeah.
great defense. What more
Oh,
can you ask
so
for?
I said 260, and he batted 280 in ball. Hey, you take
Yeah,
that.
yeah. 280. He had two home runs, 16 RBIs, and a 370 on base percentage.
Hey,
So he was drawing a lot of walks too. Way different than what he was doing in Washington. He wasn't really
and
an on base guy over there. He had a 292 on base percentage in Washington.
not only that, but way different than what we production from first base.
Mm. Yeah, but aside from the occasional great Romy Gonzalez game against a lefty, that you
Yeah.
weren't getting much from that position.
Right. Yeah. It was like
But Romy
Rob
also had to play second
Refschneider.
base. Mm. Right. And then like Romy had to play second base. Although Romy had a great, I think he had like 290 this year, 295 or something like that.
Something like
Shout
that.
out to Romy Gonzalez, another guy that he's kind of like this year's like Brock Holt esque player, but not quite Brock Holt, but you know what I mean, like that utility guy that can play more than two positions or like one or two positions. Reliable.
Kind of just fills in
Uh,
wherever he's needed
Definitely
and
Romy
can
Gonzalez.
and just plays hard ball.
Yeah. Yep. Has pretty good at bats. And he just seems like a yeah. He also has some clutch hits. Like he's got a clutch gene in him for sure.
Right.
So,
Um, I want to
uh,
I want to talk about the kids a little bit. Let's get into the call
okay.
ups of Peyton Tolley and Connolly early.
All right.
So
You want to start? Or you want me to start?
I'll kick it off. So first,
Yeah, you're up.
we got Peyton Tolley. He was the
Mhm.
first call up out of the two. And honestly, I think if his first start, absolutely what we wanted him to be. But it did worry me
Mhm.
seeing him in that first start because he was just like a complete fastball guy, and it seems like his four seam would range and go anywhere from like 9 to like 98 in that first game. Like it was just like
Yeah.
his four seam was all over the place because he uses it at different different speeds to get people to swing. He uses it kind of like a changeup as
Mhm.
well. Um, which is kind of cool. But he definitely needs to develop some more pitching. Um, did appear in
Mhm.
7 games. In those 7 games, he pitched 16 and a third innings. He had a 6.61. I think his last like four appearances, I think he gave up a home. Um,
Yep.
he had 19 strikeouts in those 16 and a third, so like he definitely getting swings and misses, but people just waiting on the fastball, and even if it's just one guy in the inning, someone's getting a hold of it. So
Yeah.
I'd really like to see him develop a secondary pitch, maybe a sweeper, or I mean, a
Mhm.
sweeper would be nasty. But even a
Yeah.
curveball, a legit changeup, anything just to get hitters off of the fastball. If he's got a good
Mhm.
secondary pitch, that will really help him out. But I think it was the right move. I don't think he made it onto the postseason roster, which is the right move, in my opinion.
Agree.
He didn't pitch well at the end of the year. Connolly early was a lot better, and
Mhm.
but it's going to be interesting in my opinion to see what happens with Peyton Tolley. to see if we actually keep him this offseason or if we try to use him because I did get a report saying that you know Red Sox are going to be extremely aggressive this offseason in getting starting pitching. So are we going
Mhm.
to deal him to possibly get Joe Ryan, or a guy of that caliber? No, it'll
Mhm.
going to be seen. What do you think about Tolley? Kind of gave all of his stats and stuff there, but seeing it from a baseball fan perspective, what does the baseball eye tell you?
The baseball eye tells me about Peyton Tolley that I've gotten is that he needs, obviously, like you said, he needs to learn multiple pitches. I think right now, based off what I've seen, I think he is a pretty good reliever. I think he gives up way too many home runs. That's what happens when you're strictly a fastball pitcher. Obviously,
Yeah,
even if you, I think it's interesting to change up the speeds of it to, kind of like keep the batter guessing. But at the end of the day, it's a fastball. It's a fastball, no matter how fast it goes. So, I think even if you were to learn a new pitch next year, like that's very risky. Obviously, he's still young, but what I've seen is that it's not gonna. One more pitch is not gonna make him a good starter.
no,
He needs to learn at least another two to three pitches. That's why I think right now, at most, he is a relief pitcher. But in terms of what he can do on the field, I think at most he's a relief pitcher. But in terms of what his potential could be, I think he's better suited as a trade chip. Not
yeah,
saying I don't think he's good, but just based off what I've seen, he just seems like the kind of guy that you have to work with pretty heavily because aside from his first start, there's been nothing about Peyton Tolley that's overly impressed me.
right,
Um, and like I said, teaching someone at this stage who's already played in the major leagues, even though he's young, and he shot through the ranks pretty quickly. Um, Teaching someone 2 to 3 pitches at this stage, if you want to be a starter, is pretty hard to do, especially if you're going to be aggressive at, like you said, at getting starting pitching next year. I think it's best that Peyton Tolley is probably used as a trade chip, in my opinion.
right. No,
Not trying to shit on the guy.
no, no, obviously not. But you see it from the Red Sox fan perspective, and it makes a lot of sense. If you can use Peyton Tolley, who like I completely agree 100% that he's a developmental project. Um, does need to learn more pitches. He needs to get more confident. He also, he's one of those big lefties that seems to have a hard time finding the strike zone consistently. Throws hard, but doesn't really know where it's going a lot of the time. Um,
Mm,
and I feel like having that type of developmental, it would be better off if we could get rid of him now to get somebody who could help us win a championship in the next. Especially with Crochet, who knows if his arm's ever going to blow out. You want to get somebody to be with him as the second pitcher before that happens. So
right.
you want to do that as quick as possible. Um, but yeah, I mean, he's. I definitely see him the same way. I don't see him as a starting pitcher. I see him as like a dominant back end of the bullpen. If he could get
Mm,
one or two more pitches, I could see him being like an Aroldis Chapman type, just somebody who comes in and just straight dominates the thing. That's a pretty
mm.
good trade chip, if you ask me. They could
Yeah.
might take a little bit development somewhere else, but that's definitely a project where if your team's 4 or 5 years away or something like that, where you might want to take a chance on this guy and say, 3 or 4 years, he could be absolutely filthy, and let's take the chance on him.
Mm,
We're trying to win
yeah.
now. That's the only reason why I say it. If not, I mean, I'm all for developing him. Um,
Mm,
but if we can use him as a trade chip and get somebody, I'd rather have Manrez than uh, a Lars Anderson sitting in AAA. Mean, like
right.
if you can trade
Yeah.
somebody like that away that needs development, you can get a caliber of player like a Manny Ramirez type guy, starting pitcher like
Mm,
a Joe Ryan. Got to take that. You have to go for the commodity
yeah.
hitter, the no pitcher.
Mm.
Um,
I agree. Yeah. Not 100%. And especially when you look at the draft that the Red Sox had this year, they clearly went pitcher heavy with it, which they haven't done. I mean, in a long, long time, probably since Dombrowski. But they went pretty pitcher heavy, and all the pitchers that they drafted, I think, do have a very high ceiling. Um, so I think that with all that going on, I just think that Peyton Tolley might get lost in the shuffle if they have to keep on teaching this guy a new pitch just so that they hope that he can go 5 innings. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's use his trade chip. Guess more of the story. Yeah.
So,
Uh,
what
and
do
the
you
other
think
guy.
about
Oh,
what do you
sorry.
think about Connerly Early?
I think he's really good. I think he's. I was really impressed with Connolly early personally. Even though his first two starts were against the Athletics, they almost played spoiler a little bit towards the end of the year with some teams. Um, but I thought that he has a good fastball. Was the top at like 97, 98. He throws a good sweeper. I just think that and he looked like he had the poise to be a good pitcher in the major leagues. I think that Connolly early could be a good number 5 next year in a rotation. In the Red
He's
Sox rotation next season.
he definitely seeing him pitch, you can tell he makes adjustments on the mound. Like he's already at that stage of his
Mm.
progression. Like he's that confident with his pitches, in my opinion, that and he locates well. So when I
Mm.
noticed in one of his starts, he was like throwing a little bit outside to right-handed or inside to right-handed. And he was like trying to get the top of the zone, and he made an adjustment, and you could tell, and it the ball over a little bit, and he started hitting the zone. It's like that's something that you
Mm.
don't see out of Peyton Tolley. You could tell he made the adjustment. He was just a little bit off, and now he made the adjustment to where he's finding the strike zone. Nice to see that. And, dude,
Yeah.
look at his
Yeah, dude.
talking 29 strikeouts and 19 in a third inning, 0.33 ERA in 4 games.
Mm.
Like
Yeah, he just looked like someone who was ready to be a major league baseball player. Like, you know what I mean? Like he has the he's not someone that Breslow and Bailey have to really work hard with, like they will have to do with Peyton Tully if they decide to keep him. He's someone that you can have go out there. He has the stuff to be, like I said, at least a good number 5 to start next year or number 4, and you just have to help him, game by game, as opposed to just change up his whole entire pitching style.
right.
So I really like Conley early. I thought he looked really good, especially that first game was electric against the Athletics in the beautiful city of, you know, he struck out 11 A's. What do you go 6, 7, or something like that, and he just was dominant. He
What we
looked
wanted.
like what you wanted Peyton Tully to look like. You know what I mean? Like Peyton Tully had a good first game, but he just dominated. Like it was like the first time in a while where like you saw a Red Sox pitcher make his major league debut, who had some kind of name recognition in the minor leagues, who actually went there and you were like, holy shit, this is a guy, this is a dude. Like, you know
Like
what I mean?
you have him as like he would be a good number 5 starter next year, and I completely agree. Like if we have him at the back end of the rotation, like that's a really good number 5 to have out there, especially because like I
Oh yeah.
see his upside as being a number 1 or 2 pitcher. Like 5 years
Mm,
from now, when
100%.
he really develops and he's like 25, 26, like I could really see him becoming a front end of the rotation guy. His stuff just gets
Yeah.
like he's going to get stronger. His fastball is going to be touching, he starts the game off like 93, 94, and then in like the 4th, 5th inning he'll hump a couple 98s out there, but it's like not really that
Mm,
consistent. I feel like when he's going to grow a little bit more into his body. He's going to put on a little bit more muscle. I feel like 98 in a few years could come really easy to. Like from what I was
oh
reading,
yeah.
his extension to the plate from where he releases the ball is like a Roldis Chapman.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
he's got
He
that
has like
length
the
to
like
him.
that power pitcher, yeah. That powerful stride, you know?
And it's like if he could get a little bit more muscle and a little bit more oomph, dude, he could be throwing like you could see him coming out in the first inning and being one of those guys who's like consistently throwing plus 95. Like, and
Mm,
you don't need him throwing 100 every pitch, but like if he's out there hitting 96, 97, and he's locating, and then his sweeper, he's locating, changeup, he's locating, which he seems to have pretty good pitches. Like if you can get him locating those pitches and throwing 97, dude, he's
yeah.
gonna be a problem for the league.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like imagine if like within a few years time you have Garrett Crochet who's going to be what 28, and then Connolly Early, gonna be 24, 23, 23, 24, potentially a Joe Ryan. Like imagine that, and then Brian Bayo. And no matter what order you put that in, that's a based off of what their potential could be and what we've already seen from them so far. If they can live up to what they are, uh, imagine that 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I mean, like when's the last time you can say that like the Red Sox had a 1, 2, 3, 4 like that? Providing they do get a starting pitcher that we predict that they're going to get. Um, it's it's nice to see. That's why like Peyton Tolley. Like I know that everyone had he was this big name coming up. But Connolly early was like the guy that just I think is what he should have gotten the hype that Peyton Tolley got because he looks really good.
The
And I think that like you said, I agree. I think he can be a star.
the thing is like Peyton Tolley got the recognition minor league. Started this
Mm,
like high A ball, and by the end of August, he was starting for the
yep.
over a
We're
4 month period. He
reminiscing rise
climbed
to
up
Christian Campbell.
of who?
About Christian Campbell, like in terms of
Yeah,
like how quickly they rose their ranks.
yeah. I mean, we drafted Peyton Tolley last year, the 2024 MLB draft.
Mm,
Like the guy's been in our organization for like 11 baseball months, and he already made it to the big.
mm.
That's
I
really
mean,
good.
that's really yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to take that away from him, but I just think that he's one of those dudes that's like
Oh,
definitely
he's
needs more time in the oven.
oh yeah, dude. He's definitely one of those guys who's work in progress. Like you can definitely see
Yeah.
that he's got raw talent, and it's elite.
Mm.
Like if he could get control of his fastball and locate it where he wants and develop more pitches, he could be a legit problem. Like, and he would be a starter. Like he would be a legit problem.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but he's just developmental. And being as young as he is, he's going to develop pitches. It all depends. I mean, a lot of these guys nowadays they reach out to people. Um, like I was watching a video today about Max Fried, Clayton Kershaw. They
Mm.
both learned how to throw their curveball from Sandy Koufax.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
they both reached out to
That makes sense.
Koufax knows Clayton Kershaw just from the Dodge Oregon. Yeah,
Yeah.
he Freed reached out to him because he saw how devastating Clayton Kershaw's curveball was, and lefty like him, he wanted how to throw it. So learned from Sandy Koufax, and that's why his curveball is, like Kershaw's, a 12-6 that starts
Mm.
at your chest and ends at your knees.
Right. Oh shit. I think the best curveball I've ever seen.
But the thing is like you get a lot of players reaching out to old time players and other players in the even Scooble. Scooble was talking about how he reached out to forgot who it was. It's another pitcher who's pitching now. And got his number from one of his teammates who used to play with the guy on the other team, and he reached out to him and said, "Can you help me learn how to throw this pitch?" And I'm Tarek Scoop.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, if Totally can find someone like that that can teach him something, then I'm willing to give the guy like a shot. I think, like you said, he has so much raw talent that you can't just be like, oh, he sucks. That's why I won't say he sucks or anything like that. But
It's
if you
it's
can
all
find
gonna
someone that can
come.
teach him, like, if you can find someone that can like teach him like another two pitches, but like it's just hard for hard for me to think he's gonna be a starter because I think that Connolly early made such a step
Yeah,
that
I mean, I don't think he'll be a starter for us
it's
for sure.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think that because early in my eyes, I think in terms of like major league ready pitcher right now that you don't have
Oh
to
yeah,
do nearly as much with. Um, I think because early took that spot essentially from Tolley that just teaching Tolley to do all this stuff, especially with like I mean even like I don't know if you want to talk about him, but Kyle Harrison
yeah.
just pitched a few games in Boston. He looks pretty good. He looks and he was down in AAA learning the way that Breslow and Bailey want their pitchers to be or like to help them out. And it seems to pay dividends. He looked pretty good in the two starts he had in Boston.
Yeah.
He's not like amazing, but like he had a 3 ERA in 3 appearances this year in Boston, and I felt like he just had more control. He looked like a more major league ready pitcher than Peyton Tolley. So now you have Tolley and Harrison, who could be battling for that. Harrison and Early, who could be battling for that number 5 spot potentially next season. And then there's Peyton Tolley on the outside looking in that you have to teach two pitches to. Just makes all the more reason to trade the guy.
Right.
right now, especially with all the hype he's got.
Right. It would be a smart move to trade him, I think, this offseason. Probably be the biggest time of his be the biggest. But if it does come down to us having to keep him per se, I mean, I also wouldn't mind that because, like you said, having Connolly early and having Kyle Harrison already looking like they're major ready, that gives you the time to develop Peyton Toll.
Mm.
You don't have to worry so much of having to be like, oh, we need somebody to be our fifth starter, and you have to be like we have guys who are ready that can step into that role, and if it does come down to us keeping Tolley, they could have like 5 years to develop him before really arbitration starts to. They're gonna
True,
have
yeah.
time to work with him. So if they could develop it over the time period and have guys like Harrison, guys like that step in successful, that's really all you can ask for. But like
Mm.
we've been talking about, if Peyton Tolley is that chip away from getting a Joe Ryan type player, gotta go.
100%. 100%. But yeah, I mean, but overall, I mean, I all the young guys, all the rookies, because the Red Sox essentially called up every rookie that they have or every young prospect that they have this year. I think overall, like, um, with people like early, players that have come up and done well early, Anthony Meyer, like these players, 2/3 of the ones I just said are hurt. Like, it does give me more optimism for next season, knowing that they are going to get some playoff experience. Some of those players, and then they're going to come back from injury, and then now they're going to be in the organization where winning seems to be very important.
Right.
So as a fan, like that gets me very excited now too. So, and I think I think Totally does have like that winning edge to him. Like he seems like a fun dude. Like he's got good vibes. Like like he
Yeah.
does like the airplane stuff and like like he seems like a cool guy. He's
Yeah.
got a
He's
good look. He kind of looks
definitely.
like Ron Swanson.
Yeah, and you can tell he's definitely a dude. Like he buys into,
Yeah,
like, he's there for the camaraderie. Like they're there to chill with the guys, and one of the guys. He's there to help do whatever's needed, and guys like that, great for winning culture.
exactly. Yeah. But they also could be great for getting a trade for a player that
Hey,
likes winning culture too.
hey, I didn't say it's
You never
great for
know.
winning culture here. Wherever
Yeah,
he
true.
goes,
Yeah, you can bring that to
honestly,
Minnesota.
he's gonna bring that attitude wherever he goes, and good for him. You know,
Yeah,
he, I think if it's here or anywhere else, I think he's gonna find success in some. I think it's either gonna be as a dominant pitcher or he end up developing a starter. But I think he's got so much raw talent that I don't see
Mm.
kind of just like, I think he's gonna find success in some.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I think so too. I do agree.
But let's start to get into playoff talks now. So playoff rotation kind of got
Mhm.
messed up,
Yeah. Yep. They did because someone got hurt again.
and it makes sense.
Yep.
It looked like it was happening over the last month or so. It just kind of felt that something was up. As we found out today, uh, Lucas Giolito or Lucas Giardelito will not be part of the wild card roster. Start game. He's not going to start game 3 anymore. As of right now, I don't know who will start game 3, but he does have some sort of elbow. I think regardless, even if it's they consider not too serious, the guy's already had what, two Tommy John surgeries. Like if you're having elbow issues,
Yeah. Especially after you just came back from the injury within the first few weeks of or the after like a couple starts in spring training. After coming back, you got hurt again. You missed the first few weeks of the season, and then he goes on a run, and then clearly the last 3 weeks, you can tell the dude was laboring.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I'm losing you a little bit.
sucks. Oh,
I lost you for a minute
you
there.
good?
Yeah, I
This
got you
podcast is
now.
gonna be the best one yet, baby.
Dude, it was so good. Like you were like a robot for
Back
a
on?
second. Yeah,
All right, cool,
I
cool,
got
cool.
you. Made me laugh. But what were you
I love
saying?
when that happens. um, I don't know what you heard, but what you heard before I turned to a robot. But he Lucas Giolito, he missed all last season with the Tommy John surgery. Tommy John surgery. Then came back, pitched a couple games in spring training, but again missed the first few weeks of the season, and then went on a good run this year, pretty good run. But then obviously the last 3 weeks, you can tell the dude was just kind of done. His arm was shot.
Yeah, it just
It
didn't. He
wasn't
didn't
getting
seem
as
like
much
himself.
heat on the fastball. Yeah,
Missing.
walking at least five. Yeah, missing location badly. Like he got bailed out in that last start against Toronto. A few things. Um, so yeah, I mean, if it wasn't obvious that his arm was hurt, like it's pretty damn obvious now. Like it's one of those like hindsight being 2020 where you're like, oh, that makes sense. So, sucks, but it's kind of one of those things where you're like, it's also Lucas Giolito. It's kind of just what he's been doing since he got to Boston.
Right.
It's like
Right.
being surprised that if Trevor Story were to get hurt tomorrow. You know,
Right.
you
Yeah, you
can't
can't.
like it sucks. But you're like, ah, fuck, it makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if anybody's gonna get hurt,
Yeah.
that it makes sense it's him. That's exactly how it
Yep.
is.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it looks like due to this injury to Giolito, so it looks like we don't really have a solidified third starter. Um, talking to you before we started recording and stuff today. Um, it seems that we're both kind of in the same boat. If anybody has to start, it should be Connolly early,
Yep.
which is
That's where I'm
crazy
at.
to say.
Insane to say.
But ride
Yeah,
him while
that
he's
dude that's only
hot.
pitched 4 times. Hey,
That's what you got to do in these
you have to.
situations. Like nobody
You know?
knows him. There's not enough footage on him to watch to get used to how he pitches. So like, let's try to abuse it right now. And if you can get a couple starts out of him, get through a round or two of the playoffs, like let's do it.
Yeah. And then if it works out well, if he does say Conley early as the game 3 starter, and he say he dominates the Yankees, they clinch the wild card, and he goes on. Imagine what's gonna do for that kid next year. That kid goes out there against the Yankees in his first career playoff start, does well, gets the win. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm not making a prediction. I don't do that. Hypothetical.
Yes. But it would just be cool to see. Like,
Then
I don't want to see a
yeah,
game being started by Brennan Bernardino. Need to see
no,
that in the third
no,
game of the playoffs. Like, if we
no.
make it there.
Yeah, I'm so good on that, dude. Like, hey, we're gonna do an opener in game 3 of the playoffs, in a win or lose situation. No, no, yeah, I mean like in a game eliminating thing.
Like,
That'd
dude,
be
that'd be so
smart. That'd be
terrible.
typical outscore. Score.
That'd be
You'd be like, oh,
that dude.
God damn it, corner.
Honestly, though, I
I
feel
would be like
like
fired. This time.
I just feel like it would be the epitome of this year. Like the way that
Oh
we've
God,
like manufactured our lineup so many times, like having different guys all over, starting leading off and then batting sixth, then batting fifth, and then leading off and then batting seventh, and like stuff like that
yeah.
all year long. Would you really be surprised if we got to game 3 and they said Brennan Bernardino was going to be a starter, like an
Now,
opener
but
for
I
the
would be like,
game?
we didn't see. And then of course before and also Trevor Story won't be playing because of his elbow, and you'd be like,
Yeah,
okay, this is just like on the cake, dude. I love it.
and here we go. Like,
I think I saw like I don't know how true it was, but I think I saw something like with the Red Sox. Right, like here we go again. I think I saw something where like the Red Sox this year had like 130 different starting lineups.
sounds about right, dude.
Like, like that's crazy. That's crazy, right? Like it's not just me.
No, that's
I feel like that's been
absolutely crazy,
that's
dude.
been like a common. Yeah, that's been like I feel like my biggest complaint all year for this team is like get a consistent lineup and then you'll have consistent offense. And it just nope. Apparently not. Apparently I'm the idiot. I don't know.
It feels that way. It
But
like
130 different. That's crazy.
feels like thinking that the philosophy should be to have like a solidified line. It sounds crazy based on the fact of could be that many games didn't. Maybe
Yeah.
we're the crazy one.
Oh,
Not looking at the computer
yeah. Yeah. I mean,
uh, analytics
yeah.
of it all.
Yeah, they made playoffs. You know, I guess we can't really say anything at this point.
Yeah, especially like with the players that we've had and stuff this year filling in all over the place. It's like, really surprising to um
Yeah.
let's break down this Yankee matchup.
Okay.
So game one, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock start or 6:10 start. We got Garrett Crochet going game one against Max Fried. I mean, to be honest with you, in my opinion, this is the make or break game. If we come out and we take
Yep.
game one, we have a good shot to win this. But if Max Fried comes out, dominates our lineup, and we game like 1-0 or 2-0, 1, something like that, like
Yeah.
I could see us not even winning a game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I mean, you look at the record this year against the Yankees. The Red Sox faced them 13 times, and they won 9 of them. I believe it was like 9-4 record. Like normally you should have like if you're like a if you pay like if you see that you're like, oh, they should have a really good shot against the Yankees, or like I think that they have it. I still can't even say that. Like I'm confident in the series because, like you said, if say they do go in there tomorrow, even if they went 9-4 against them this year, if they go in there tomorrow and lose 2-1, 1-0, and you're like, well, I don't think they're gonna win the series. Like I mean, like they have to make a statement tomorrow for sure. I do agree. Even
They
though
have to give
they were
Crochet the
dominant,
support.
rather dominant against the Yankees the whole season.
Yeah, they got to give Crochet the support tomorrow. If he comes out like, it's
Yeah.
one thing if he comes out tomorrow and gets rocked, like, I mean, it happens. He comes out tomorrow and he gives up 6 runs in the first 2 innings. Most likely we're gonna lose the game regardless. But man, if he's pitching well tomorrow and he's dominating the Yankees, got to put up some runs.
Yeah. I agree, man. Is there any like player on the Yankees that like you're worried about this postseason? Like not just like aside from like obvious player like Aaron Judge, even though playoff wise he's good.
Yeah, you want to know who it is?
Is there like a dark horse Yankee?
Yeah, you
Who is
know
it?
who? Ben Rice.
Yeah, I was gonna,
He
it's
seems
between
to
him and
kill
Jazz
us.
Chisholm. I think they're
Yeah, they both kill us, dude.
yeah
Those are the two that I had in my head. I couldn't choose. I went with Rice because I
yeah. He actually I think he had a 2 home run game the last game of the season or something like that. So like he's going into the playoffs pretty hot.
yeah,
That
and he
sucks.
had I think he had a 2 home against us earlier.
Hmm. I
Like
think he did too.
he
He's done
can.
that a couple times already.
Yeah, and he's got some pop in his bat, and we're playing at Yankee Stadium, a left-handed bat. He kills SOX. Got to do is get under.
Hmm.
Our problem is home runs. Give up a couple of those Yankees, especially early. I don't know if against Freed we're gonna put together 5 hits in a row to a couple runs. Like we got to have some thumping.
Yeah. Or even if they were to like not have as much power, like I know it's like almost impossible to get stringing together 5 straight hits against Freed, but if they were can like lock into something, kind of like how they've been locking in like this whole like this last few weeks where they've everything's kind of felt like a playoff game. If they can lock into that and then just string together those hits and then hopefully get that timely hit that they've been kind of missing for a lot of the year, like that would be nice to see. But they need to be something that they kind of haven't been, which is either a powerful hitting team or the team that gets the hit with the guy on second base and 1 out.
Right,
So
right. But the thing is
we'll see.
it's
We'll
going to
see.
be these games are dominated by extra base hits. Doubles in the gap,
Mm,
home runs. That playoff games, you're getting the best of the best on the mound from every team. Um, so it's going to come down to just getting a few nice shots. Got to get a few nice
mm,
shots in there. Being the only problem too is tomorrow we're going up against a lefty, and you look at
yeah.
Duran, Abreu, Lowe. Those guys are all left-handed bats. The good thing is you
Mm,
will probably see Romy Gonzalez and Rob Refschneider, who do kill left-handed pitching, and of course Trevor Story should be in. Um,
yeah.
so we should get
And
some
Narvaez is
good.
Yankee killer too.
Yeah, so we should get some good right-handed bats in there against him, and Rafaela. Can't forget him.
Yep.
So some pretty good right-handed
He
bats
seems
to
to be
go
living
along
for
with
this
it.
one. Yeah.
I'm excited, man.
No, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be. Yeah, I'm very excited. Like the fact that they made the playoffs, I'm like hell yeah. But the fact that it's against the Yankees too, and you're like, this is gonna be like much watch baseball. This is what baseball needed,
Only that,
especially since they implemented the new. the new playoff format. I think that they've been dying for a Red Sox Yankee card round like this for a few years.
Not
So,
only that, but like playoff baseball just feels different. Even just like watching the games on TV, like they're just a better production. You know
mm,
you get the top of the line announcing. It feels like playoff baseball, and I miss seeing the Red
yeah,
Sox in that atmosphere. And it's good for them to be back, even if it's just a wild card round.
agreed, man. Like I've been dying for years, like I know it's only been 4 years, but it feels like even longer. But I want to see some Red Sox fans with fucking sweaters on at Fenway Park or like in the seats. You know, what I mean, I want to see like that Red Sox sweater because I want them to play in the cold. You know, the Red Sox players clearly hate playing in the cold. We remember that from earlier this year.
Yeah,
I want to see that. You know what I mean, that's another thing that's kind of scary if they were to make it far. Oh no, this year's been weird. It might be 80 degrees in late October. Who knows?
dude, I know for real though. Um, so let's get into that game two matchup. It looks like it's going to be Brian Bayo, going for the Red Sox against Carlos Rodon, who
Mm-hmm.
had a pretty good year this year. Definitely, in my opinion, his best year as a Yankee. Um, he the first couple years of that signing, he did not look too great for them. Everyone thought he was going to be a bust, but he had a good year this year, not having to be the ace, letting Freed
Mm-hmm.
take the lead. I thought he had a pretty good year for them, and that's another good matchup. I think the Yankees, honestly, once again, another left-handed pitcher on the mound for the Yankees. Um, but I think the Yankees have that matchup. Um,
Yeah. Well, I
but
mean, I'm sorry.
no, you're good.
I was, I was gonna say, like, I mean, like, I think Rodon's doing has had a really good year, but like, you also look at Brian Bayo against the Yankees this year.
I
He's
know
aside from his last start, which wasn't even that bad, he's been pretty goddamn dominant against the Yankees. I think he gave up like what 1 earned run his previous 2 starts against them combined, and the last time he gave like 3. Obviously, he's on like a little bit of a downslope this last 2 starts, but you never know. Like,
it's
um,
playoffs.
it's playoffs
Never
too. Like, either his emotions are his best friend or his enemy. So it
right,
just depends on what kind of Brian you're gonna get tomorrow.
right. It will be interesting to see. I hope we get a really locked in Brian Bayo. I don't want to see him get into his head and get too emotional about maybe walking a
Mm.
guy when he shouldn't or something. You got to let that go. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I'd love to see him go out there and dominate the Yankees. I just think looking at the matchup between Rodon and Bayo, I just think the Yankees. Um, another left-handed. A lot of our power comes from left-handed side of the plate. So I just think I just think they have the matchup there. Um, but
Mm.
but like you said, I mean, just because I think they have the matchup on paper doesn't mean anything of what happened in
Yeah.
we've seen that time and time again all year long.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm trying to stay away from predictions, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like literally everything we said was just, hey, you know what? What if we do the opposite of that?
yeah, yeah, seriously, dude. Especially towards the end of the year, we were catching ourselves. We were like, yeah, you know what? Maybe they should go lose this series. Like,
Yeah, and 3 game sweep. Aha! Damn, they proved me wrong. Ugh. I still remember like when like we were like kind of like glazing. They were doing really good. So I think they're on the 10 game winning streak. And we're like they look awesome. Da, 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 da. Their bullpen looks great. Their starting rotation looks great. And then you were gonna be like, yeah, Chapman looks great. Actually, you know what? Chapman looks fucking terrible because you knew that like if you say he looks great, he's gonna give up 8 runs in his next 4 outings.
then he goes like 50
And
innings without giving up a hit.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, man, I credit that for the reason why he went on that run is because you call it yourself.
We said it. We were like, "Oh no, we can't let this happen."
Nope.
Oh man, that is
Oh
funny
man.
because he really did go on such a dominant year.
Dude, it was amazing. Honestly, we went over the stats earlier. We were talking about it yesterday, but like the most dominant closer we've seen since Koji Ihara, who surprisingly, according to numbers, was better than Aroldis Chapman this year, which is insane to think about.
Yeah, but like Koji was
Tough.
not our closer for a decent portion of. Chapman was the closer all year long.
Mm. Even then, I think Chapman, what do you have, 31 saves this year, and I think Uehara had like 26 that season,
Yeah,
which I mean, like, but Koji was just on like a different level, dude.
So
He became like
dominant.
an abs.
He was
He
a
topped out
superstar.
like 88 miles an hour.
His splitter was so
Yeah,
good.
came out to freaking the dude,
Sandstorm by
the best
Darude.
splitter like I've ever seen. Yeah, dude, just it was awesome. Like he was electric. But it's cool to see a closer. Like we haven't seen that in 12 years, you know.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
no, I mean,
nice.
Koji was pretty good at 14 too.
Yeah, but we weren't.
Oh yeah, and John Farrell's like, I don't know how to manage. I'm gonna manage. I'm gonna make this guy pitch every game, even when it's not even close to a save opportunity. He's gonna have 30 save opportunities and 70 appearances for whatever reason. I don't even know what he did that year, but I remember there was like so many games that year. I'm like, why is Koji pitching? Like, there's no reason for him to be
Why
pitching
is,
right now.
why is Stephen Wright pinch running?
Yeah, right. What is this all about, Mr. Farrell? Can you explain this? Something seems off.
Oh, he was an outfielder in college. Like, okay.
Mr. Farrell, you realize how stupid that sounds, right?
Yeah, and everyone played the outfield in Little League.
Oh,
Uh,
dude.
Dick Raphael
Yeah,
Devers at
dude.
first. That's what it feels like.
Yep. How did that work out? It's like I will say that's one prediction we were pretty damn spot on for the whole year for two teams. He shouldn't play first base, and
Did
we were
not play
completely
for.
right. Yeah, dude, Yuri Hard made 64 appearances in 2014 as a closer,
Damn,
and he had 6 saves. Like Farrell just put him in. He just put him in the game. That's all he did. He just kept on putting him in. That's insane. How would you do that? 64 appearances for a closer?
he
Only
had
had 26 saves? With a 2.3 ERA? Oh, John Farrell, you buffoon.
like a
How did they win a World Series with John Farrell?
like a 9-0 game, and Koji's out there in the ninth.
We need to save this lead, Koji. Go out there.
Like,
Like, Jesus. Just fucking call up Eric Gagne.
Koji, we're losing by 4 in the top of the ninth. We need you to go out there and hold the lead for us. Like, what?
Are you sure I did that yesterday? Yeah, we need you, Koji. Bring that magic
What?
back.
Dude, that's why they were trotting him out there, just to get the
Get
song and the
the
crowd
fans what
going.
they want.
The fans were having such a bad time at the games that they were like, just send in
Koji's arm,
Koji.
Koji's arms hanging on by a thread. God damn it!
They're
Why did
prancing
they
him
give me
out
this
there.
song?
Prancing him out there like a circus monkey. They're like, go, Koji. He's like
It's
dying.
Koji time. It shouldn't be. 64 appearances. I don't know what's going on. You're a friggin' starter.
Dude, you must have
Oh,
been
dude.
like, it must have been like him and like 9 Ryan Braziers in the bullpen. Like, they just didn't
Right.
have anybody reliable, so Koji just got out there.
We only have two players we can rely on right now. It's Koji and Noe Ramirez. Oh, damn it.
Get out there, Koji.
Oh,
Oh,
come
Koji,
on,
if
my
you don't
eyes
want
about
to
to
do
fall
it,
off.
we'll have to send in Jordan Hicks.
Oh, no. Jordan Hicks like, I'm ready. Wasn't
Koji's
ready. I
like,
was
God
kidding.
damn it.
At least he's not on the playoff roster. I'm glad. I mean, I don't want players to get hurt, but, Jordan Hicks. Yeah.
Dude, I'm at my parents' house on Sunday, and my dad was like, we were talking about Jordan Hicks, and my dad goes, how the hell did that guy make the roster this year? I was like,
Dude.
we traded for him for the Devers, and he was like, why? I was like, I don't know. Me and Lopes talk about it all the time. He's the only guy in the league who could go to 2 different teams, have a 6+ ERA, and get multiple chances. Like,
You're right, dude. Dude, his final stats for the year. San Francisco 6.47 ERA. Pretty bad. But then
Red
Boston,
Sox,
he's like,
8.
here's an 8.20 ERA. He had a negative .7 WAR in San Francisco. Came into Boston at a negative 1.1.
Whoa! Yeah,
Jesus,
almost a
dude.
-2 WAR for the year.
Oh my god! How can you be this
They're
bad?
literally saying, dude, you could put any other pitcher in your bullpen, and you would have lost 2 less games.
Yeah, dude, ridiculous. If it Oh my god. You know, for a guy who, like, throws 100 miles an hour and everyone's like, "He's got nasty stuff," he doesn't even average a strikeout per inning.
Oh,
He had 48.2 thirds ER, 48.2 thirds innings pitched in San Francisco, 43 strikeouts. 18 and 2/3 pitched in Boston, 15 strikeouts. I thought he was supposed to be awesome. Dude, he was so bad. He
but
was like,
you know,
hey, you know what? The Red Sox have won with worse trade acquisitions. Eric Gagne had like a 7 ERA, and they won a World Series that year. So you never know, man. Jordan Hicks is his vibes are just gonna be like that guy's so bad, we just can't be worse than him. Let's go win a championship. That's what they're gonna say. And then Mo Vaughn Grissom's gonna hit 3 home runs.
uh,
I'm sorry, no. It's Nathaniel Lovon now.
yeah,
Hey
it's low
Lovon.
Vaughn.
Lovon, my boy.
Um, but all right, let's get into this potential third game if there is one.
Yep.
There is no Red Sox starter, but for the Yankees, they do have a guy by the name of Littler. I think that's how you said it. Um,
No relation.
uh, um,
Oh, cut that, cut that, cut that.
but for the Red Sox, I think it should be Connolly early. I think you said the same exact
Agreed.
thing. Um, do not want it to be Brennan Bernardino as an opener.
No, I do. Nope. I'm all set. Thank you very much. Or Jose De Leon, Jorge De Leon. Don't want him.
Like who else could it even be? Honestly, if we don't bullpen game it, like who else could it be?
I have no
Kyle
idea.
Harrison?
I'm trying to wrap my
Like
head.
Dustin May? It
Eh,
better not be Dustin May.
no, no.
Better
Stop
not
that
be.
right there. Take that back. No way. I
Not be
think
Dustin
we
from
trade
Justin.
top prospect for that guy.
If you really think about it, it was like he was part of the Rafael Devers trade. Like it's kind of just
Yeah.
how you got to think
Yeah,
about
right.
it.
Red Sox traded Rafael Devers for Jordan Hicks and Dustin May and Kyle Harrison.
No, just don't even mention Kyle Harrison. We can't talk about the good
Yeah,
guy,
yeah, yeah.
the guy who's been somewhat
No,
good
no,
so
yeah, yeah.
far.
No, at the end of the day, the Red Sox traded Rafael Devers for Jordan Hicks and Dustin May. Let's look at Dustin May's status. Dustin from Justin. How do you do this year for Boston? Before he got injured because it was with a very real injury.
Yeah, the I can't pitch itis or whatever it is.
Well, Jordan May had a. What if I were to tell you had a negative WAR stat in Boston?
You called him Jordan May.
Jordan May, Dustin May, they're the same thing. Dustin Hicks. Yeah,
Awesome.
he went 1-4 with a 5.4 ERA.
My God. They
Dominant,
one in
elite. What a
four.
trade. 1-4 with a 5.4 ERA. He was worse here than he was in LA, and they were going to potentially DFA him. The Red Sox were like, we got to trade one of our top prospects for this guy.
We just got this potential power hitting outfielder or first baseman in for Rafael Devers. I bet you guys would really like to have him.
Oh, dude.
Dude, I still
Oh, the,
I still think of that, dude. That fucking trade deadline was like, you're gonna trade us Joe Ryan, right? And they were like, honestly, man, we were just gauging the market to see how much you would actually give up for Joe Ryan. So this offseason we can have a bidding war for him. And Craig Breslow was like,
yeah,
wait, what? And then they were like, he was like, yeah, sorry, but you're gonna have to go somewhere else. And he looked at the clock. He went, oh my God, it's 15 minutes till the deadline. He said, who will make a trade with me? I'm good friends with the Dodgers. We make trades with them all the time. The Red Sox and Dodgers are best friends. And then they called him up and said, who don't you want anymore? And they said, well, we have Dustin May. We're about to DFA him. And they said, better yet. How about we trade you this guy? James Tibbs the third. He could potentially hit you 40 home runs in a few years. And you
yeah,
give us Dustin May. I know you were going to get rid of him, but, you know, it just seems like a better idea if we off your hand.
yeah. We think we can do really good stuff with this man.
Dude, what do they think?
Ah, dude, that's like another like thing I was talking about earlier. What a weird year. Like we're like sitting here like, dude, they're in the playoffs. They're facing the Yankees. This is awesome. We Garrett Crochet, all these great players that they have. Connolly Early's on the rise, but they also traded Rafael Devers for Jordan Hicks and Dustin May. It's crazy.
And then pretty much did nothing else.
Nothing else. Their
Waited.
best pickup was Nathaniel Lowe,
Who got DFA'd?
who got DFA'd by Washington. It's such a weird year. It makes no sense.
Oh,
Nothing makes sense this year.
too good, dude. Oh, it's
It
too
really is,
good.
dude.
Um,
Makes
so
it more fun. You just never know what you're gonna get.
so I'm not gonna give a prediction of how I think the series will go.
No, sir. I was gonna be like, we're not doing predictions. We don't do that anymore.
But let's revisit a prediction. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. With it being the end of the season, the playoffs coming around in just a few hours, really. About, I don't know how many hours exactly, but, tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Almost midnight, so technically almost later today.
Yeah.
We wanted to go over our first episode, made a prediction for what we think the record is going to be this year. I made a prediction, Rob made a prediction, Matt made a prediction, and of us three, one of them got it completely right.
Spot
I'm not gonna
on.
say who did. Spot on,
Absolutely spot
right to a
on.
T. I'm not gonna say who did. I'm not gonna say who got the record completely right before the first pitch of the season was even thrown by Garrett Crochet, mind you. I'm not gonna say who did,
But I
but
will.
it was me.
Yeah, it was
But
Lopes.
it was me. It was me. I'm very
um,
proud of it.
Lopes had them at 89 and 73, which is exactly how they finished. It is just he had them winning the division, which we finished third in the
Yeah,
division with
that
89 wins. So AL East was a little more competitive than we
looking.
originally thought.
Yeah, looking back, I probably should have pegged the Yankees to have 90 wins at the very least. Or I underestimated the AL East pretty bad. That's on me.
Yeah.
But still, though, 89-73, spot on, nailed it. 50%, I'll take it.
Hey, Matt had them at 95 wins, um, and winning the AL East, but losing in the playoffs. Um, I had them at 91, and same thing, having them. But we'll
Mm,
see. You got it 100% right. Record
did.
prediction. So,
I can't,
we didn't win
still
the
can't believe it.
division, but we still made it in. So
Yeah, and making it is
that's
just enough these days.
yeah,
It's enough to potentially go on a run, I should say. I look at the 2021, or no, it was the 2021
yeah,
Braves. Yep,
yeah. That sounds
no
right.
one expected them to.
Dude, the
Yeah,
the Diamondbacks, they
a
didn't
World
win it all,
Series.
but that year they went on a fucking major run, and they went all the way to the World
Yeah,
Series.
what they have, 84 wins?
Yeah, something like
It was like
that.
something like 84 wins, and they
Snuck
beat
in
the
as a wild
Dodgers in the
card.
first round. They go on.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes you just need that good. I'll leave. I'll take. I'm just happy with the fact the Red Sox even made the playoffs. But I guess maybe like the final question of the podcast. Um, do you view this season as the season, not just let's not talk about the playoffs in terms of this, but do you view this season overall as a success, or are you underwhelmed?
So I'm underwhelmed in some senses, and I think it was a success in others. So I think it
Hmm.
was a success in the fact of uh had really bad chemistry at the beginning of the year. They figured out what the problem was, which, believe it or not, was Rafael Devers' attitude towards the team. They got him out of here.
Yep.
They let Bregman kind of take the reins of the team, change the whole atmosphere, and from that point on, they were a playoff caliber team. Um, so in those successes, that was they did great there, especially turning the season around. Other great areas, we saw Roman Anthony come up and be successful. Um, we saw Marcelo Meyer come up and be successful. We've seen Connolly Early, Peyton Tolley. I would have liked to see Christian Campbell get another chance, but I'm
Right.
also disappointed in the fact of Roman Anthony's hurt. Lucas Giolito's now hurt. We've had 130 different lineups this year. We have
Yeah.
guys who would be at best a backup player who barely ever plays on a really good team, being guys who are playing every other day for us, and it's been like that all year long.
Mm.
And I found it disappointing that at the trade deadline we didn't make any really big moves. We didn't make any crazy moves to even help us really down the stretch. All they did was, I don't count Harrison. That was before the deadline, but at the deadline we got Dustin May, and Dustin May absolutely terrible for us and lost us 4 games. So, I find that as a disappointment. I also think we had mismanagement of the bullpen at times. Disappointing. But the
Mm.
success to that is the fact of when we were winning games, we had 2 guys of Whitlock and Chapman to lock it down for the rest of the game after the 7th inning. So there was success there. And overall, it was a successful year. I think there's more success than failure. Um, it's just going to be like you said, no, don't count the playoffs, but the playoffs are going to make or break the whole year. If we come in here and we lose to the Yankees, but we play our asses off, and we just get out hit by the Yankees, better, a little bit better roster beats us, you can't be upset about that. But if we go out
Mm.
there and you're down, you have the lead, and you're bringing in a guy who has been terrible recently or something like feel like Justin Wilson's kind of been terrible.
Mm.
You bring him into the game and he ends up costing you the game when you could have brought in a different guy. Stuff like that. Like if stuff like that ends up costing us games, then I think it will end up being an disappointment. I think it will
Mm.
just be mismanagement playing. Um, but no, I don't really. I think we're either going to get
Mm.
beat by the Yankees from them kicking our ass, or we're going to play a tight series. I don't really see us
Yeah.
throttling them. I don't see anything like that. But I'm just hoping for a competitive series. I just want some red.
Yeah.
Like,
100%. I
like
I
it, just giving us the playoff
agree.
baseball is the success in itself. Like that's how I'll
Right.
finish that. Like the fact that we get to turn the TV on tomorrow night and we're not watching somebody else play the Yankees and we get to actually watch the Red Sox. That's all I can ask for.
Yep. I agree. I think overall, and I pretty much everything that I pretty much echo everything that you say. Like, I do think that it's more of a success than it is a failure. Although there are a lot of things to be underwhelmed about. Like I said, the weirdness of the year where you have these runs that they went on where they were obviously the best team in baseball, and then they have these runs where they are one of the worst teams in baseball. Their offense is inconsistent. It's pretty much like the team was consistently inconsistent, but when they were good consistent, they were dominant. But when they were bad, they were like it wasn't. I don't know. It's hard to put it into words. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it wasn't like it's just hard. Like how can you go from scoring 14 runs one day, 1 run the next day? But um, overall, I I'm happy with the team. I'm happy that they made the playoffs. Like you said, I think this team deserved playoff baseball. I think these young players deserve to see what playoff baseball in Boston's like because my hope is that that will make them want to keep on doing it. So I think overall it's definitely a positive. Um, with a lot of well, not a lot of but a bunch of very glaring, underwhelming to negative things sprinkled on. But you know, take what you can get. I mean, and I do agree with what you say about this is a big series for Alex Cora. Is pretty much what you were
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
like the managing of this team. And I do want to see if I think Cora saved his job already, but I want to see if I can be if they were to get eliminated by the Yankees, if they were not to have a deep playoff run. I want to know if I can be confident that Alex Cora can make this team a 1 to 2 rounds better next season, the playoffs.
yep.
So it's one of those things. I give him overall positive grade. Looking forward to seeing what happens, where it will lead to, whether that be this year or next year or both. And yeah, you can't overlook the shitty things that happen too. Because
Yeah.
like I said, weird year. Nothing made sense.
Yep. And yeah, you hit it on the nose there, saying that like in a way, Core is playing for his job. Realistically, he's not, because like you said, he's probably earned that by making it to the playoffs to come back next year. But at the same time,
Mm,
it's really going to be a test to him to see how he manages the roster. The lineups he's putting out there against the Yankees. Is it the right lineup? Is the guys he's using in the bullpen, is he putting the right guys in? Does he make the decision to have a starter on the third game, or does he go with a bullpen game if it comes to that? All those things are going to
mm.
slowly play into it. Think, is this guy going to be a good manager if we do have a good enough team to make a long playoff run? Is he going to make the right decision to put this team in a good spot to win, or is this team going to win despite him?
Right. Yeah, it's one of those things I'm very much looking forward to seeing because it's good to know that the answer to that will be resolved with the Red Sox playoff baseball at the very least. So
So excited, dude.
it's fun. I know, me too, man. And it's against the Yankees, bro. How awesome is that?
So,
First year we do this podcast, they make it to the playoffs. Coincidence? Probably.
I think
But
not.
still.
Oh.
In room only the whole time.
But honestly, dude, it's
Like,
gonna be really nice to, like I said, tomorrow night I'm gonna sit back, relax, turn on the Red Sox game, and go. Finally, get to sit
yeah,
down and watch some playoff baseball and actually root for a team and not just watch it as background noise.
right. Yeah, dude, it's been a long time. In 4 years, obviously, it doesn't seem like that's that long, but trust me, if you're 162 guys like us, it's a
It's a
long
long
time.
time. Time, man.
Oh,
Talking,
very excited.
talking, what, 700 games about playoffs?
Yeah, dude. And the fact that we got the fact that the Red Sox were like the almost the same exact team for the last three straight seasons, and now what they are. I mean, the future does look bright. That's a positive. Um, and even if they were to get bounced in early in the playoffs, if they were to somehow beat the Yankees, that's awesome. But if they were to get bounced, and all these young players coming back next year from injury, and who knows what they're gonna do? Like maybe the front office will actually like splurge on this team. If they were to finally do that,
Love that.
you could be looking at an even better season next year.
Yep. Yeah, no, 100%. Going to be, regardless of how they play in this matchup, I'm looking forward to this matchup tomorrow just as forward to, like, it's going to be
Mm,
follow
yeah.
up on this team throughout the whole off season. It's if finally after 5 years told we're going to spend, we're competitive. Now that the team's made it to the playoffs, the team's young, they got good up and coming players. Is it finally time for them to say let's invest, let's go get players, let's go
Mhm,
out and sign Pete Alonso now that he's opting out of his contract. Let's go and maybe get a
yeah.
legit second baseman. Why don't we go sign Ketel Marte? You know what I mean?
Mm,
Get a couple
yeah.
guys like that, and then you have Roman Anthony and Meyer and Trevor Story stays. If Alex Bregman ends up staying, like, now you have a legit
Mhm.
lineup that's going to compete with any team in the league. And,
Oh,
those are
easily.
just free agent acquisitions too. Then you can make those moves to go
Mm,
trade for starting pitching.
mm. And it's like the perfect blend of like for like a baseball team, especially where you have like those really good veteran guys that have been there with a good crop of young players that are going to continue what those veterans teach them and what they learn here. Because obviously we're biased because we're Red Sox fans, but you can ask anyone that's a baseball savant, they'll tell you that playoff baseball in Boston is different from a fan's perspective and the player's perspective. So I mean, if the fans can get a team that's consistently going to be something to watch every year, they get a team that's full of guys that consistently want to play playoff baseball with like while these fans are cheering them on every year, it could be something special here because even this year with the game, there are some of the games the Red Sox had where like the crowd was really into it. Like I haven't felt that It's so long, dude. Like 2021, that playoff run was so fun. And that's another thing that's makes it feel like it was longer is that playoff run was so fun and the fans were so great. And then 2022, 2023, 2024, it's like the fans were kind of checked out.
Yep.
I mean, like, so it's nice that the fans are back. It seems like the emphasis on winning is back. So like we're both like the players are getting what they want at the end of the deal, which is to play the game, get paid to do it, and do it for good fans. And the fans are getting what they want, which is a playoff caliber team every year. So that's what I'm hoping that this is the start of. I hope this is the foundation. And like you said, if they decide to finally invest in this team and they say they were to sign a Pete Alonso and trade for a Joe Ryan, I think those two moves alone right there gives them an extra few wins. Honestly,
Yeah, yeah,
providing all the
100%.
players come back.
And both the guys that I
So
said, Pete Alonso and Cattell Marte. Pete Alonso was in the NLCS last year, so he already knows playoff baseball. And Cattell Marte was in the World Series a couple years ago.
mm,
So you have two guys that you could bring in
right,
that have never won it, but know what playoff baseball is like, and might be hungry to finally go out and win that World Series. If that's the case, you
right,
might be able to strike lightning in a bottle like 2013, get a bunch of guys who are just playing for each other to go out there and win a championship.
yeah. And then that stuff is contagious. So I mean, I'm excited for the playoffs this year. I think that the more that we talk about, the more I do view this season as a as more of a positive because what the future could be if they are going to do what they are going to say they're going to do, and the fact that this team is already here now with such a young team as well as a good veteran presence around them. It's really fun, dude. I'm really excited, honestly. Like the more that we talked about it, because like another reason why I've been missing this podcast because it does get me like really excited for what we're seeing, and also the fact that I nailed it. I fucking nailed the record prediction.
Did dude?
Like, come on,
I know you hit it
that's
right on
awesome.
the nose. It was fucking awesome looking back.
I could not believe it.
um,
Can't believe it. Just happy about that.
yeah, dude, it's so crazy. I can't believe I can't believe one of us got it right at all. Like, good
I
prediction, man.
I also I thought it was gonna be Matt because Matt always seems to like just subtly like he'll say like say if Matt says 10 words in a podcast, 8 of those words are like the most right thing you're ever gonna hear
I know.
compared to what we say, and they like I thought he was gonna get it, but actually he had the worst prediction out of all of us. So take that, Matt.
um, but yeah, I think honestly we can probably wrap it up here. It's been going for like an
Yep.
hour 20. Um,
Yeah, I'm
so it
kicking
was
it off.
dude,
Love it.
this was necessary. We thought this was going to be a short episode, but it ended up being just as long as any other podcast that we hadn't talked in so long that we just get everything out.
Yeah, and we're talking playoffs now, dude. How awesome is that? It's
I
even
know.
better.
I know, and hopefully when we come back next week, now that this is going to be this week's, we're going to get back onto schedule, and we are going to start up the podcast. Don't we will
Oh yeah, that's definitely happening.
definitely going to happen.
It's freaking vacations.
First time we get to meet up in person, we are definitely banging out an episode, catch up on everything, injuries,
Yep.
what's going on in the league records. We think is going to win it all. Who we think vision. Get all that stuff out to you guys. Don't worry about that. But um, the next baseball podcast is definitely us coming back and talking about the off season, or we're going to be getting you guys ready for the divisional season.
Yep. Hopefully the latter, but I'm
Yeah.
not predicting anything.
No, me neither. No prediction here.
Nope, definitely not. But
No
yeah,
prediction
hey
here.
man, pleasure talking.
Yes, sir. It was good talking to you. Like we both said.
It really has been. Can't wait to get back
This
and talk about football. But spoiler alert for the football podcast: I'm a Raiders fan. Not
okay.
happy.
It's okay. I'm a Patriots fan. The glory days are over, my friend. I mean, Drake May's
Well, that's
looking
true.
good,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Uh,
the this isn't. We know they're not winning a Super Bowl. it's
no. Yeah.
so it's just gonna be honestly, it's just gonna be fun to talk football from a football perspective, like a
Yeah.
team perspective, because we are fans of different teams all of our friends are fans of different teams. It gives it a good diversity, and it also gives a chance to
Mm,
um kind of just talk about everything. I think that's good. I think
yeah.
I, I think it'll be fun. Football being only 17 games before the playoffs is I feel like is one indefinitely talk about the sport in general because there's just not as much of
Mm,
it. With baseball,
right.
there's 30 teams and 162 games for each. Kind of hard to keep up with everybody for a whole season.
Yeah, dude. If we did like a straight up baseball podcast, like, oh god,
So rough.
our brains would be fried, dude. Oh my god, I'd be sleeping.
But all right, thanks for listening, everybody. We will definitely be catching you guys hopefully before the end of the week. Fingers crossed. For ALDS would start, I think, Saturday or something. So
I think it's Saturday. Yeah.
yeah, so if that ends up happening and the Red Sox are in it, hopefully you'll be hearing from us again. And if not, at some point during playoff series of ALDS, you'll be.
Yep. We'll, we'll be back soon.
Yeah, in some capacity, it'll
But
either
yeah,
be great
in some
or
capacity.
we'll be miserable. So be ready.
Yeah. Yep. So, and you guys, you know, we love to be negative. So regardless, it's gonna be entertaining. We'll talk about Carl Everett or some shit after that to lighten up the mood. But
But thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll catch you in the next one.
enjoy the wild card round.